been in that for 14 years. Check this out. Then separated. We separated for 3 months, maybe 4 months. And I remember, as God is my witness, I remember God telling me, it's over. You don't have to go back. I've released you from this. Do you not know? Because I had been cleaved with this person for like 7 years. 7 years. I went back to this person for 7 more years of HELL hockey sticks. After God told me don't go back, I did it again. Why? Because I was caught up in my flesh again. You know, we get to this thing where we use the scriptures. Can I say this? That people say, well, God hates divorce, but listen, let me just share this with you. Even Jesus himself said, okay, what God have joined together, let no man put asunder. And then he spoke about that divorce is permitted if it be for fornication. And if Christ would have not put that in, he knew that some people, when they're going through a marriage, some people are going to hook themselves up, okay? Some people are going to connect themselves, okay? But when God put you together, you're not going to separate from each other. You know, it's going to be one of them situations. Why? Because he's the perfect matchmaker, so he knows what you can handle, what I can handle. So it starts from the beginning, you know. So he knows the maturity level where you are. He knows the maturity level where both of you are when he connects you together. So you're going to have your challenges, yes, because you remember both of you are going to be coming from different spectrums, you know, different backgrounds, you know. But when God brings it together, it's going to be right now. You know, the maturity level is going to be right for you to be able to go with each other and grow with each other. You know, not saying it's going to be perfect, but it's going to be more of a blessing than it is a struggle, you know, because of that, because you did it in God's time. So, yeah, I mean, it was like, and then after 7 years, you know, we separated. And then 3 months later, we got back together, you know, here. Why? Because I think I'm hearing God again. Here I am. I've convinced myself. You know, when you say, I think you talked about earlier, you're talking about people believe that God is speaking to them to do this. That's what I did. I believe, you know, I didn't really wait on God, you know, because he clearly said, don't go back.
And we have to understand too that we don't condone divorce. That's not what we say.
Well, exactly.
So
exactly.
Let me just explain something to you.
Yeah.
A lot of times, because we don't want to wait, we rush into a relationship.
Yes. Yes.
And then when we find out it wasn't God, because now you're seeing clearly that oh my God, this is not God. Then you want to rush out of it. No. Maybe God is saying, okay, you didn't wait then, but you need to wait now. You need to endure now. Right. You need to go through now because you did not obey then. Because if not, what will happen is you're going to go through the same cycle over and over. You're going to go into a relationship, get out of it. Go into a relationship and get out of it. And you're never ever going to have that peace of God and be in his perfect will because you're constantly trying to instant gratification. Right. I want her now. I want him now. Yeah. So I'm going to go. I want out now. Yeah. So I want to go. That's not what we're saying. Yeah. You need, again, wait on God. Vito could not leave his marriage. Right. 14 years.
That's right.
That wasn't an instant out.
No.
Trust me, if he had a choice, he would have been out way before 14 years.
I remember those times when I was trying to get out, and I was like,
no, you stay right there.
Right here. And she's right about that. We don't condone. No. We're not trying to. No, what we're saying is that's why we're sharing this with you. This can save you from going through that.
Right.
You know, us talking about hearing God. And again, if you don't know how God speaks to you, because how you don't know how God speaks to you, because God makes his voice so clear. He does. And
he will also use people to confirm.
My God.
You know she's not the one.
Right.
you know he's not the one.
That's right.
So you already know that because you have a relationship with God. God has already told you. But because we're human and we need to touch, feel, and see.
There you go.
God said, okay, I'm gonna show you through your friend, or I'm gonna show you through a family member. I'm gonna show you through somebody who's outside looking in with no emotional attachment.
Right. No flesh.
Who loves you. But all of a sudden, you ever realize that the people you used to trust, the people you used to listen to, and the people that sold into your life, when they're telling you something that you don't want to hear, all of a sudden, they can't be trusted. And they've never shown you they can't be trusted.
Wow.
They've never shown you they can't be loyal. They've always showed you their heart.
And told the truth to them.
Right. But then this individual comes into your life, and all of a sudden, the person that you loved and respected so much is now your enemy because they're telling you something you don't want to hear. And they're telling you this because they love you, but because the flesh has blinded you.
Exactly.
No matter what someone has told you, if you've made up in your mind, we talked about this earlier before the video, when a person have it made up in their mind, they're going to go forward despite the confirmations. There's nothing we can say.
It's nothing you can say.
There's nothing we can do, nothing you can say because your mind is made up. But we're talking to those, you want to make sure that you're in God's will. You want to make sure that whoever God has for you is for you. And if you got to wait, you're willing to wait. And if you feel like you can't wait, you're the people who need to go to God and say, God, give me the strength
and the patience that I
to
need.
Wait. Waiting 10 years wasn't easy, y'all. When I had to wait 10 years, no sex, no nothing, that was hard. It took God. It wasn't Marshall. It took God for me to wait on my husband. And then 14 years, it took God to give him strength to stay in it before he released him.
When it wasn't him put us,
So in every area of your life, you gonna have to wait if you want God's best for you. And I mentioned in another video, it's good, better, best. We ain't talking about worse. Hopefully you don't go to that extreme. But good, better, best. Why do we don't have to settle for less than what God has for us?
That's right.
The best, it takes time in every aspect, whether you're in it, whether you trying to get in it or you out of it. Trying to get anything God's way takes time. Just like your children, for those who have children.
That's good.
When your children ask you for something, and it might not be a bad thing, but it's not the right time for it. Why? Because you know they're not ready. They're not mature enough to handle it. It's out of their timing. You're not saying no forever. You're just saying no, not right now. And a lot of times we take no from God to mean never. Maybe it just means not yet. Maybe it's just a delay until we can get to that point where we're ready. I wanted to be married at 25. God said, nope, you're going to get married at 33. I wasn't ready at 25 looking back. I had just started my relationship with God. I had just given my life to Christ at 24. So God knew, you ain't ready for a man. So those are the things we have to understand. God knows everything. He's more smarter, you guys. Just in case y'all forgot, he's smarter than us.
He's the
best. Timing sucks. I'm gonna get a t-shirt. It's gonna say our timing sucks.
Listen, you heard it first, right here. I dare you to try to patent that, and we see that somewhere. I'm suing you. Take you to court. My wife said that. Say it again.
Our timing sucks.
Yeah.
It really does.
Spell it, babe, so that way they won't even try to patent that. You know how people get.
So, and it's hard sometimes to talk to people when they've already.
That's gonna be another video. That's gonna be another video.
Yeah, that's part 2. Now you're in it. Now what? Whew. That's part 2. You disobeyed God. You went forward anyway. Now you're in it. You said I do. You said I do to a whole bunch of stuff. You should have said I do too. But now that you said I do, now what? That's part 2.
I can tell you about that one for real.
So I hope that what we spoke about today enlightened a lot of you on just making sure that you know that your relationship with God is so intact that you don't hook up with the person that you're not supposed to hook up with, or you hook up with the person out of timing. Because what if God says, yes, that's your husband, yes, that's your wife, but not right now? What do you do?
Why is it that we still, we won't, it's like we don't catch that. It's like God say, no.
We're children.
And it's like, okay.
We want our ice cream now.
No. Or yes. Or that, okay, so that yes means I can go ahead and do it now then. I mean, we don't ask that.
We don't ask the when.
We don't do that. We
ask the question, God, can I get married? Yes.
Yes.
And we think yes means now. Okay, now what you ask, God, when? 10 years from now. God, can I get out this marriage, please? Yes. When? 14 years from now. We don't ask the when.
And I never asked God to get me out of that marriage.
I know. I just use that as an example.
I mean, while I was in it, I was believing God to do what He needed to do. You know, to how can I say it?
Change the situation.
To change her. To change the situation so it can be what I visualize, what I believe what a marriage should be. And I went through that for 14 years and it never happened. And it's like, okay, God, why you in it? Why did you do it? And it was so clear. God would never put down His will and put it to the side
for your
will. He would never do this.
Oh, man.
He would never say, okay, Vito, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to change my will and purpose for your life. Just because you repented. And I'm going to just take everything that I willed for your life for you to receive, have, to live in. I'm going to just set it to the side. Why? Because you repented. And I am going to accept you because I just like you, Vito. I like you and I like the way you look. So therefore, I'm just going to put down everything I purpose for your life and I'm going to accept your will. And I'm just going to yield to you.
I made a mistake and you got it right.
That's right, Vito. You got it right. You chose the right one. And just no matter what I say, don't worry about me because I'm God. I never lie. You know, I'm perfect in all my ways. I never make a mistake. So Vito, guess what? This time I think I made a mistake. God doggone Vito, I made a mistake. So this time, Vito, you're going to be you right.
We're
out
laughing,
of everybody on this world,
we're laughing,
you're going to be
but
right.
That's how we act in our actions when it comes to making a decision out of God's will.
Yep.
We really think that we want God to bless our mess.
Yeah.
That we started.
Endorse it, yeah.
God, this is who I want. I need you to bless it.
And God supposed to say, okay, well, yeah, no problem.
Right.
I'm going to endorse your fleshly act. I'm going to endorse your agenda. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay. Hey, Angel. Hey, Gabriel. Hey, Michael. Don't worry about what I have for him. Don't worry about that. We're going to give him what he likes.
And let me talk to the ladies for a minute.
Uh-oh. You going to hit him, baby?
No. This is for all of us.
Okay.
Hitting myself as well.
Okay.
Because I've done it too. We cannot change a man. If he is what he is, and if he's showing you who he is, just like Maya Angelou said, believe them. It's what he does. It's not what he says. If what he's saying and what he's doing is not adding up, God is showing you who he is. You cannot change a person. Oh, when we get married, he's going to change and because he loves me. No, sweetie. We have a lot of power. But that's one power belongs to only to God. Yeah. Only God can change someone. And trust me, the person that God has for you needs no changing under your command.
That's right.
That's going to happen when you're together, when God has hooked you up and then you're going through this process together, then you guys change together. Because it's not just him who needs help and needs changing. We need help in changing too. But when God does it, we change and we get the help we need together from our Father together. That's how easier it is when you're connected with the right one.
That God cook you up with.
Right. So when you're not, think about it. He's not going to change. He's going to get worse. We're not going to change. We're going to get worse. And now you're hooked up together. Two people not changing, getting worse equals you fill in the blank. So why go through all that? God has already told you he's not the one. Males, God has already told you she's not the one. Mm-hmm. Because we've heard from a lot of people recently telling us, we knew before we said I do. Yeah. But we thought God was going to change the situation.
From both sides.
We thought that, God was going to bless it anyway. And now they're in it. Mm-hmm. God loves you so much. He's going to tell you, daughter. He's going to tell you, son, no, not right now. But when you do what you want to do, then you have to pretty much suffer the consequences.
And there will be some consequences.
And then you have to wait to go through that process where you can just eliminate that one process and wait on God, no matter how long it takes. I know people who have waited longer than 10 years. I've known people who waited less than 10 years, and it was still in God's plan. So it's not a number per se, it's an obedience. Right. That's what it is. It's an obedience to God. If God say wait a year, so be it. But God said it. If God say wait 10, 15, 20 years, God said it. So that's it. So we just have to get to that point where we're actually listening and waiting on God. Not when you're in it, when you're going through something and you need to know before it starts, pray. Ask God, God, is this the one? Because I don't want to waste my time. Ask him before.
Good. That's right.
God, if it's not time for me to get married right now, let them be at bay. Keep them at bay. Leave them, let him leave me alone, or let her leave me alone, or give me the strength to say no. So there are some things that we could be praying to make sure we don't put ourselves in a situation where we fall. And it's hard for us to get up and say, you know what, maybe it's just harder. So just understand that we can't change a man. And men, you can't change us either.
No. Not at all.
So I hope that what we have said today have resonated. Again, we could talk so much about this, but we really hope that you understand the importance of God's perfect timing and his perfect will for your life. We don't want you to have to go through unnecessary struggles because you're out of God's will, okay?
It takes patience to wait on God's timing. It takes patience to wait on God's timing. And that patience, with that being, that patience also plus trust. Patience and trust, We get impatient, that's because we're lacking some trust now, And who we looking at, who we eyeing down, or who we kind of thinking about, that could be the one. But we're afraid to ask God, is that the one? Because we really don't want to hear that voice saying no.
Hello, beautiful people. Yes, this was an oldie but goodie, but the principles still the same. I want to remind you, if you have not yet grabbed your 8-step survivor kit, a guide to how to hear God's voice for yourself, or if you also want to be invited to our offline Let's Talk in Private forum, please go to the website, theprocesslife.com, join the mailing list so you can receive all of your freebies. Not to mention, you don't want to miss our exclusive limited edition awesomeness that's coming for Black Friday and the holidays. So make sure you join the mailing list so you won't miss out. See you on the inside. Be blessed.